Okay, as you find your seat on the mat, whether you want to sit cross-legged or back on the heels, find a nice tall spine. Turn your gaze low or close the eyes for a moment. Bring attention to your breath, awareness of how your body is in this space right now. Sense of welcoming yourself to this 60-minute yoga hour or power yoga practice. And the word of the day is beautiful. I'm going to read this passage from Glennon Doyle. It says, beautiful means full of beauty. Beautiful is not about how you look on the outside. Beautiful is about what you're made of. Beautiful people spend time discovering what their idea of beauty on this earth is. They know themselves well enough to know what they love. And they love themselves enough to fill up with a little of their particular kind of beauty each day. This was followed in the journal with a prompt that said, write about someone or something that filled you up with beauty recently. Does anything come to mind for you? Take that in here. In that prompt, I wrote about Ukrainian woman that I saw interviewed in the one too many hours of CNN that I watched throughout the week. But she's just really stuck with me. There was a sense of calm and peace within all of the hard things that really resonated, and I'm sure it's why she was there to spread a message to us. Where did you find beauty today, this week? Let that come through in the movement today, the hard and the easy pieces of it. We start chin to chest and just rock the head from side to side. This first thing is always a little bit easy and actually a little bit hard, sort of opening up, awakening to the movement, a little bit stiff perhaps. Leave right ear over towards the right shoulder. Walk the left fingertips out to the side and place the right hand on top of the left ear to give a little more extension. And then bring it all back into the center. Chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder. Walk the right fingertips out and place the left hand on top of the right ear for that little extra. Make the choice throughout practice today to add the extra or to subtract as best suits you. Chin back down to the chest. Lift the head, open your eyes, give it a little clear blink, and then lift the arms up to the sky. Full breath. Exhale, fold the arms over your center, reach out, and then crawl over your legs for child's pose. Do what you need to move and adjust in child's pose, knees wide, big toes together. Keep the head lifted here and look forward past your fingertips. Crawl like little Spider-Man fingers further, further, further out. Lift your forearms, elbows, upper arm bones to the sky. And walk both hands over towards the right side. So friends, throughout the month of March, the mantra is playing in the field of possibilities. And that sense of what is beautiful, how do we find it? How do we feel it? Walk the hands over to the other side is a part of that play. Come back to the center, rise up to all fours. Hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. Go through cat and cow. And a little bit quick here. I've been picking up the pace of cat and cow lately in my own practice. And for us together, I don't know, it's just resonating. Try it. Pump back and forth. And then we slow it down. Stay in cat pose. A sense of strengthening in the core here. Pull your navel up towards the spine. And then change. Go to cow. Let the belly drop down. Hips wide. Look up. Change to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Paddle out your feet. All these great opening movements that we know. Take it in. How's it for you today? What feels and brings you beauty? Look in between your thumbs and step all the way to the front end of your yoga mat. Ragdoll pose, bend your knees and hold on to your elbows. Be as heavy as you can in the upper body. Let it go. Sway a little bit from side to side. Anything that feels good. Okay, let's slowly roll up to standing. Shoulders go up, back, and down a couple of times. Good, and forward and down. Right into Sun Salutation A today. Lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower down to the mat. Cobra, peel the chest up. Down dog, lift the hips up and back. 3 breaths right here. Honoring the play throughout this month. It's not one particular yoga hour sequence, but I'm just working with different sequences and different ideas throughout each Sunday. Look in between the thumbs, step or jump to the front of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand, reach the arms to the sky and to the center. Create that fullness of intention. Take another breath right there. Let it go. And again, inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back to plank. Lower. Peel the chest up for cobra. Downward dog. We breathe here. Look in between your hands, step or jump to the front of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand, reach the arms to the sky. And back to the center. One more go like this. Sun Salutation A. Lift up. You know it. Move and link breath and body. Inhale, half lift. Plank pose. Lower. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Steady the breath. Look forward, step or jump. Half lift. Uttanasana is your forward fold. Stand up, reach to the sky. Urdhva Hastasana and hands to the chest. Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs, also called fierce pose. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Step back to plank. So this is sun salutation B. It has 3 chaturanga dandasana, 3 cobra in each of its series. Down dog here. Warrior 1, step your right foot forward, spin the back heel down. Keep hips, shoulders square towards the front of the mat as you come upright, arms overhead. Lower the arms, step through plank. Here's the second of the 3 in the vinyasa flow. Left foot forward, right heel down, upright, arms to the sky. We're pausing for about a breath here, and then lower the hands. Step through your plank to lower. Last of the 3, cobra, and down dog. You pause the breath. Sorry, pause the movement. Stay moving with the breath. Look in between the hands now. Pick it back up, step or jump, half lift, fold, Utkatasana. Stand up, palms to the center. Right into it one more time, so we're really picking up the pace. Heart rate here, fold over. Inhale, half lift. Rely on your knowledge of the movement. Step back to plank, lower down. Cobra, down dog, right into warrior 1, right foot forward, come upright, half a breath, lower the hands, chaturanga dandasana, cobra or up dog, down dog, left foot forward, Virabhadrasana Eka, chaturanga dandasana, cobra or up dog, down dog. Breathe. Look to the hands, move forward. Ardha Uttanasana, Uttanasana, Utkatasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together, center of the chest. Pause. Ooh, how do you feel? Notice. Lift of the heart rate. Couple more breaths right here. We change to tree pose, Virasana. So stand on your left leg and place your right foot in tree pose. It can stay low to the ground, come up a little higher on the calf, or all the way up to the thigh. Try to press your heel into the leg and vice versa. Point the knee to the side and the toes straight down to the floor. Arms to the sky. I love tree pose right after the movement of sun salutations. Can you balance? When you fall off course, what happens? What do you do? Change to eagle. Cross the leg over. Right arm under the left. Squeeze your right foot into the outer calf or tuck the toes towards the Achilles heel. Keep the arms, unlace your leg. And step that right leg back into your lunge. Lower the knee to the ground. Lift your arms up towards the sky a little bit more so you come into a slight back bend shape. As you come to neutral, unthread your arms, place them on either side of your front foot. Pick up the back knee. Pause and breathe. And then step both feet back to the front of the mat. Stand all the way up, lift the arms to the sky. Do it all on our second side. Bring your left foot onto the right leg. Start with lower tree. A little higher. Maybe a little higher. Feel free to use your hand to help you. Full external rotation here. We're also working core strength. Pull up from low belly towards the lower ribs. This changes to eagle pose. Wrap the left leg over the right. The left arm under. Cross at the elbows. Hold on to the hands. Always the option to hold the shoulders instead here. Squeeze the left heel in towards the outer calf, or point the toes down towards the right Achilles heel. Really squeeze everything tight towards the midline. Stay with it. And then you're unwrapping your legs. Pause for a moment. And bring that same foot, should be your left foot, back behind you into the lunge. Lower the knee. If you're really watching me closely, you'll notice I'm on the opposite side. It's your left foot back. Come back to neutral, unwrap your arms. Tuck the back toes, lift into your low lunge. Pause there. Step both feet to the front, stand all the way up, reach the arms to the sky. Okay, we go back into a flow, forward fold. Half lift. Plank pose. I want you to hold plank here for a moment. Take your feet wider than your hips, like almost as wide as your sticky mat to help you. Stay on the toes. A little more doable. Take it down to your knees. I'm asking you to add in shoulder taps here. So your right hand touches the left shoulder and comes down. Left hand touches the right and down. Keep repeating like that. Right, left, right, left. One more each side. Right, left. Lower it flat down to your belly. Reach the hands back behind you, palms up to the sky. Lift for cobra. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Lower it down and press back to child's pose now. Into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Pull the knee to the chest. Now, hover forward, shoulders right over the back of the wrist. You should already be about 3/4 of the way towards stepping that foot through to the lunge. Try to bring the foot all the way in between the hands on one step. Come up to your high lunge, arms to the sky. Add a twist, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Tone and turn through the abdomen. Look to the side or even up. Notice what's happening to that back leg. Try to lift and straighten the leg to stay broad across the low back. If you need the balance of back knee down, place it down. Everybody untwist, lower the hands down, step through plank. You're going back to your shoulder taps. Again, feet wider so that the hips can stay without shifting from side to side. Toes is harder, knees more doable. We've got 8 here. Tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lie down onto your belly. Locust pose, hands back, lift. Change to child's pose, you get a breath. And downward facing dog. Second side, lift your left leg up. Pull the knee to the chest. Now change, shoulders over the back of the wrist. Just like plank, but with that knee lifted. Notice how far you're already in towards the lunge, and then try to step the left foot through. Come up to high lunge. Looking great. Add your twist, right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Again, if possible, back leg lifted. Keep it straight. You don't have to be all the way hooked down. Find your space. Unwind. This time, step both feet to the front. Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips can stay down. Come to the shins or thighs. Forward fold. Stand. Reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. We always pause, reset. See that fullness of intention. Beauty maybe makes you smile a little bit with ease. It's found in even the hardest places. Start with Utkatasana now. Bend the knees, sit into your thighs. Utkatasana. Take the twist here. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Now look down at your right foot and step your left foot back so you go back into that lunge. It's tricky balance. Let yourself sort of fumble around and then try to find your safe, still point. Stay with it. Kind of like going backwards through the pieces of the puzzle we just did. Untwist, come upright in your torso, arms overhead. Now change to warrior 2. Spin the back heel down, extend the arms in either direction. Really turn your energy and full focus of the body towards the long side of your yoga mat. Shoulders right over the line of our hips. We sit as low into the front thigh as works. Broaden out through your front knee. Stay with it. Perfect. Flip the palms up. Lift the right arm high. Lower the hands, kind of a cartwheel around that front leg. Step through to your plank. Instead of shoulder taps here, keep your feet just hip distance apart, and we are like marching with our feet. The right leg goes up, down, left leg up, down. Give a little extra squeeze in the glute as you lift the legs. Straight leg marching. Do it 4 more times. Right, left, right, and left. Lower flat down to the mat. Hands back, either open or now clasp, and lift. Lower down. Press up and back to downward facing dog. For the second side, we need to start at the front of the mat. Look to your hands. Move forward. Stand all the way up. Just sweep the arms to the sky. Right into Utkatasana. Bend the knees, sit into your thighs. Okay, twist here. Right elbow to the outside of the left leg. Remember, look down instead of to the side. I like to stare at my left big toe here. Keep that in the balance and step your right foot back. Squiggle it out until you find your full stride. Feet themselves still hip distance apart. Don't try to walk on the tightrope. Untwist, pull the torso upright, arms to the sky. It's like blossoming up, 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 and open. Warrior two, spin the back heel down, open up. I've really been embracing the exhale breath out through the mouth. Let it be. Nice release. Flip the palms, lift the left hand high. And the cartwheel down around the front foot, through your plank. We've got those marches again. If you're not marching, take the knees down and hold steady right there for a moment. If you're marching with me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lower chest flat down. Interlace the hands behind your back or keep them open. Lift up. Lower down, this time it's child's pose. Push back and stay for a moment. Bring yourself upright in the torso. Sit back on your heels. So you could stay on flat feet. Ooh, a little extra stretch in the feet. Tuck your toes and sit back like that. If neither of those two things work for you, come up to kneeling. And it's a little easier on ankles, knees, and hips. We're just adding that easy twist. Look over towards the right side. And easy twist, look over towards your left side. Come back to the center, interlace your fingers, flip your palms, and reach up towards the sky. This flip and full extension in Yogahour is called summit pose. It's like we've reached the top of the mountain. I listened to a sermon this past week talking about how we don't have to stay at the top of the mountain or ever really reach it. I thought about this pose, and for me, it's difficult. Thought, oh good, I don't have to do that for too long, so let's release. Come forward, all fours, and pat out the feet. Lift the right leg up and back in line with the spine. And extend the left arm out in front. The bigger lesson being we can always find and hunt for the beauty in all sorts of different ways. It's not just at the top of the mountain. Take your left arm out to the side and kick your right foot more towards your right shoulder. Try to keep the leg straight. Woo! Hold on to that one. Come back around, arm front, foot back, and lower hand and knee to the ground. Lift the left leg up and back. Flex the foot, point the toes down to the floor. Engage navel towards the spine. Extend the right arm out in front. Take the right arm out towards shoulder height, straight out to the side. And then try to kick that left foot towards the left shoulder. Oi, 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 and the hips, right? Okay, come back around. Set the hand, set the knee. Downward facing dog. Paddle it out, shake through the head. Lift your right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. This time you get to bend the knee. Bend the knee. Come forward towards plank pose and try to bring the knee towards the right shoulder. It's similar to what you just did, but you don't have to kick the legs straight. And then step it all the way back to downward facing dog. So we're holding that strength a little bit different, but we've made the leg flexibility opportunity a little more doable. Left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Now float forward to plank pose and try to pull your left knee to touch your left shoulder. And step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your toes. Ragdoll at the back end of the mat. Slowly roll up to standing. Good, let's take a few wide-legged stances. So face long edge of your mat. Make your feet parallel to one another. So point your toes straight ahead, your heels straight back. Catch your breath. Extend the arms out. Okay, good old triangle pose. Turn your right toes out. Look over your right fingertips. Hinge from the waist, from the hip, I should say, and reach as far as you can. That's your point, and then you simply drop the hand down to where it reaches. Is it shin, floor? Top arm up to the sky, open through the chest, look high. On your next breath, press through your back foot, lift all the way back upright, and then switch directions, turn on your feet. Back toes can turn in a little bit to make this easier, sort of the energy and direction of the body is a little bit more towards that left side already. And then hinge. And the left hand drops down to your shin, lower shin around the ankle or fingertips to the ground, top arm to the sky. I'm not picky here. If you want to put the hand behind or in front, whatever feels good for you, play with it. What feels beautiful? And let's come all the way back up. Good. Turn the feet parallel to each other. Wide-legged forward folds, Prasarita Padottanasana. Take the hands down under the line of the shoulders. Go for a long spine first. Think like Ardha Uttanasana, so you're extending long. And then that drops down towards the center. Walk the hands in. Give yourself a little challenge here. Maybe take the feet a little bit wider. See if the top of the head can graze or even touch the mat. You don't want to be heavy head down onto the mat. Weight still mostly in your feet. Even try holding onto your outer ankles here with a bend of the elbows. Now if you're here, the notion or the natural thing is to want to rock your weight back into the heels. It's why we practice so much before head is down with weight forward in the toes. Keep that same action going. Again, my head is down, but I've got like maybe 5% of my weight on the head. I'm not putting a lot of weight there. Keep it in the feet so that it's easy to come on up. Come on all the way up. Heel toe the feet in and in. Shake it out. Good, so a lot of these component pieces working with straight legs, it's going to lead us towards our arm balance here, Ekapada Kundanyasana 2. Go with me here. Lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the right foot forward and step the left foot back. Bring both hands to the inside of your foot. Lower the back knee down to the mat. Come down to your forearms. So go to flat palms first, bend at the elbows. If that's working and you've got more space, you go down to the forearms. If you happen to be working with a yoga block, you could slide that block underneath the forearms, but it works just as well as stay on the hands with less bend in the elbows. They do the same work. Okay, friends, I want you to try to loop your right shoulder under your right thigh so that then your right hand moves to the pinky toe side of your right foot. Pick up your back knee. You're all sorts of pretzeled in there. To get into this arm balance, you gotta lean forward a bit until you can hook the right foot up off of the floor, almost like when you do knee to the chest in your hovering plank pose, and then try to send the leg straight out to the side. Remember when we were all fours trying to kick that foot forward? It's similar. And then the weight goes forward to try to get that back leg to lift up. Everything finds its way to unwrap into plank pose. Lower it flat down to the mat. Big wide cobra, so fingertips wide, elbows up to the sky. Lift your chest. So that arm balance, EPK 2, is really folded forward and over in the shoulders and chest. So we're just opening it back up there. Push back to child's pose. Give yourself a moment. Go to downward facing dog. Look forward in between the hands. Come all the way up. Stand up. Reach the arms to the sky. We're going to try it on the second side. Use the pieces of the puzzle that matter and that work for you. Forward fold. Leave the left foot forward, step your right foot back. So we start with bent limbs. Lower the back knee down, bring the hand in to the inside, and get lower down to the forearms. One thing that helps me, if I leave that back knee really far forward, it's hard to get down to the forearms. So you really want to use the length stride of your mat and then go down. Knee further back than the line of the hips. And this forearm lunge, it's the biggest opening, the biggest ask in terms of flexibility in the hips. For the pose, giving the straight leg, think of it like you're doing triangle pose, 2 straight legs, but we got to get there through the wrap. So take the left arm under so that you're wearing that left leg. You pop up the back knee again. Now, if you just want to get a handle of what that front leg is doing, you could try back knee down. And to get in towards that straight triangle pose leg, pick it up and send it out. And then you can go into the back leg where you're really forward in the torso. Unwrap it all through plank pose. Lower flat down to the mat and do that big cobra. Spider fingers out to the side, elbows up. Clear the space. And then lower back down. Roll over onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give ourselves a couple of minutes of kind of wind down. It's not fully winding down, but it's a hard pose. Find the beauty now in the softening. Just rock a little from side to side. And then we'll practice that same pose, but on our back. Hold the right knee into your chest. Extend the left leg out. And you're hovering, left leg off of the floor, just like it would hover in the pose. Take the forearms together on the inside of your leg. And then lift your head and shoulders off of the mat in a crunch. From here, try to wear your right leg over the right shoulder. Place your hands to that deep bend of the elbows. And then you have to give a little something up to try to straighten the right leg. I'm giving up the hook, but still holding strong in the core. And it all comes back into the middle, bend the knees, hug. Sometimes getting that picture of the pose on our back, seeing how much engagement is necessary, especially in the abdomen. And then knowing, like, without the pressure of the floor, I can't keep the hook and that play of tug of war. Gravity is a piece of the pose, right? Okay, sit in the right leg straight, hug the left knee into the chest. Forearms together, and lift your head and shoulders up off of the ground. Okay, so we go into like try to hug the left leg over the left shoulder. And then I'm probably gonna have to give something of it up. It's not gonna hold as steady. Once I let go of the leg, especially if I wanna straighten it, my elbow moves away from the thigh. But I can imagine, try to imagine if you're flipped back over, how that upper arm bone and thigh are gonna connect. Oh, and just how much ask is in that stretch of the hamstrings. Pull the knees back into the chest. Let it be. Both knees over towards the right side. Extend the arms out into a T. Want this to be relaxing, releasing. Okay, knees across the center, on over to your second side. Back into the middle. Rock yourself up to a seated position. Good old seated forward fold. Make your legs straight, flex your toes, flex your feet, and fold over. Hold on to your feet or arms to the side on the ground. Think even rounding through the back here. And then come upright and take the soles of the feet together. Point the knees out in either direction. Baddha Konasana. And fold over in Baddha Konasana. See if you can get forearms to the floor like we do in our forearm lunge. Come upright, hug the knees in, extend the left leg, cross your right leg over, and add the twist here, elbow to the outside of the thigh. Music is tricking us to think we're almost done. Come across the middle, switch legs. Cross the left leg over and twist. I've got a little bit more in store for you, so we'll make sure those beats come up again. Okay, friends, I want you to untwist both legs straight out in front of you. From this seated position, we are going back to plank pose. Close your eyes, envision it. How are you going to move from here to plank pose? It doesn't matter how anyone else is doing it. Your unique, beautiful way of movement. Ready? Go. Plank pose. straight arms. Take your feet as wide or wider than the hips. Let's pick it up back to those shoulder taps. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me some straight leg marches. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You get to go down and up, meaning right forearm, left forearm, right hand, left hand. Do this on the knees if not available on the toes to you. Left, right, left, right. Back to the right side one time. Right, left, right, left, and to the left, left, right, left, right. From your full plank pose, step your feet now to the outside of your hands. So right foot steps forward, left foot steps forward. Make your forearms touch and swing between your legs. Set your hands down with fingertips facing towards your toes. Your legs are hugging. I want your legs to hug around your upper arm bones. If you're thinking, how is my heel of the hand going to come down to the floor? It's with some pressure of your legs sitting on your upper arm bones. Try to sit. Okay. We like to wrap our feet for arm pressure pose. For today, can you get one of those legs to go straight like we practice for EPK2? Bring it in. Can you get the other leg to go straight? And bring it in. How about both of them at the same time? And you all have to get yourself back to plank pose. Don't hurt yourself, but it doesn't matter how you get there. Plank pose, downward facing dog. That's a huge challenge to throw in. Maybe something to play with throughout this month while we're just seeing what happens. End this series with side plank. Bounce on your left hand, outer edge of the left foot. Stack your feet, lift the right arm. Do anything you want with that right leg, from stepping it forward for support and more stretch through the outer hip, or letting it fly up to the sky. Friends, we're back to downward facing dog. Right hand, outer edge of the right foot. Try to keep your hips lifted so that your shoulder and wrist feel better. When the hips lower, it puts too much pressure on that bottom arm and joints. Left leg does what you want. Step forward, lift it up. Downward facing dog. So good. Come forward to plank pose. Down to the mat, cobra. Drink it all in. Exhale, child's pose. Now release. Big blow of air out through the mouth. Now roll down to the belly. Bow pose, bend both knees, reach back, hold on to air or hold on to your ankles, top of the feet, and lift up. Stretch your knees back and your chest forward. Release everything left on our mat here. Roll it back over to your back, knees into your chest. Again, hold on to your right leg, extend the left leg, but let the heel come to the mat or sole of the foot. Either way, stretch the right leg straight. Everything from here on out, about releasing into the stretch. Be less rigid. Lengthen the breath, especially the exhale. Switch sides, pull the left knee into your chest, right leg down, and then stretch the left leg up towards the sky. Good. Pull both knees back into the chest. Set the soles of the feet down onto the mat. Your belly up, back bend. So I'm going to guide us through bridge pose. If you wish to take a different option, this is your opportunity. For those joining me exactly in bridge pose, press down through feet, shoulders, head, lift your hips up. Create your hands like bookends, sort of roll the shoulders more into the midline, or you can interlace the hands under the body. Bit of movement with your breath, kind of slightly pulsing. Leave the chin open enough that the chest isn't crushed against you. Slowly, safely come back down. And go back to our supine twist, knees over towards the right side, arms in your goalpost, goddess, or a straight T. Stretch the top leg straight. Try to hold on to the left foot in your right hand if that works for you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Back off so that you can move over to the other side. Let the knees fall towards the left. Stretch the top leg straight if you want. Bring it all back into the middle. Squeeze the knees tight. Try happy baby if you'd like. You can even go into a open straddle. Yogis, from here, it is your choice. A little more unwinding, releasing. If you like an inversion at the end of practice, this is your time. And from that last unwinding or pose for you, then find Shavasana. Take Shavasana lying down on your back, on your side, or in a seated position. The ask is for still and for quiet as much as possible in mind and body. There's never a time in Shavasana where I don't see full beauty just emanating across the space. Let's take in these words once more. Beautiful means full of beauty. Beautiful is not about how you look on the outside. Beautiful is about what you're made of. Beautiful people spend time discovering what their idea of beauty on this earth is. They know themselves well enough to know what they love, and they love themselves enough to fill up with a little of their particular kind of beauty each day. Thank you for filling up here on your mat. Give yourself a little more stillness. If you're lying back, take your time to come back to a seated position. I close class with 2 ceremonial things. We sing the sound Om, and we greet Namaste, both as a way of saying thanks, gratitude to ourselves for the time of practice, and indeed to take the gifts that we found on the mat and to welcome the next moment. You're always welcome to sing along, to listen, to tune it out. Palms together here. Release the breath. Deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you. All right, friends. Have a lovely